cook them on low, rotate them, and then I'm gonna slice them, and then I'm gonna put sauerkraut in here with them. Make this really good, ketogenic, high vitamin C meal for food prep. And I've got 4 containers because when I work on Saturdays, I do not get to eat. There's not a lunch break. So today's Monday, Tuesday through Friday, we'll have a lunch. Right now, the apple sausages have just gone in the pan. I've got it on medium, probably should do medium low, and then I'm just gonna rotate them until they're brown on every side before I cut them. And then I want to brown the slices as well, so that it's got some beautiful color. Color is really important when you're doing contrast in your food to make things look aesthetically pleasing. The sauerkraut's going to be kind of that white color, so these guys need to be browned up beautifully. Oh, drink it. It's probiotic, drink it.
I can't drink this. You can't drink that.
It's probiotic. Apple cider vinegar, probiotic, with mother. So I'm using the sauerkraut. I like the sauerkraut that you get from Aldi because it's actual sauerkraut. I don't like the stuff that's vinegared. I like the stuff that's fermented. I'm not going to ferment the sauerkraut because it's, itself a vegetable. It smells lovely while it's in the process. But once it's done, it comes out, the stuff that's fermented instead of pickled, comes out tasting a little bit like fresh baked bread when it's warm. You can throw some caraway seeds on here. So I'm basically doing sauerkraut, 0 net carb, basically, with chicken apple sausage. And that's going to be the bulk of my meal through the week. And then the mushrooms with cheese sauce that I cooked up on this channel, that's going to be the supplemental items for my meal this week. Do you have a question?
This is really good.
Oh, good. You like the vinegar better than the carrots?
Your concoction that you brewed up is good.
So funny. So off screen, he's eating, he just finished off the last jar of pickled carrots. And he is drinking the apple cider vinegar brine now, which is full of probiotic goodness.
Much salt in this.
Just enough to slow down the fermentation process. Like a teaspoon of salt for that entire jar.
Very good. I'll be okay.
See all those containers? They all have apple cider vinegar in them. Austin, everybody, in the room. You'll meet him on one of these videos. He stepped in real quick. He's over here. He's the peanut gallery heckling while I'm cooking.
I'm the food critic.
Food critic, there we go. Doesn't know anything about food, but he's going to be critical of it. For example, the pickled carrots, which I've gotten rave reviews on. He likes the apple cider vinegar that they're pickled in more than he likes the carrots. I did a sour spiced plum. What did you say it smelled like?
No, Steven said it smelled like Christmas.
Steven said it smelled like Christmas, but what did you say it smelled like?
No, it just smells weird to me.
Just weird. Spiced sour plum smelled
Did
weird.
it? I don't know. I wouldn't wear that.
Okay, this is the oil's starting to bubble up and pop. I've got it on medium-low heat because I want to cook them slow and even. This is a different brand chicken apple sausage than I normally get. I went through the kosher area to find it because the brand I normally get, which is from HEB, was not available at HEB. So, yeah. You okay over there? You're going to get a fork in the nose if you're not careful. Have you ever seen Dirty Rotten Scoundrels? It's an old SNL movie. It's got Michael Caine in it and Steve Martin. And for a portion of it, they're scamming people. So Steve Martin plays special needs, which is probably not PC nowadays. But he's got an eye patch, and he's got a fork with a cork on it, and he's got a plate of applesauce, and he's eating, and this guy brings the girlfriend over for the first time to scam her out of it. And of course, he's eating, asking stupid questions, stabbing himself in the eye patch with a cork fork. That's what your face reminds me of.
It's 1:30, maybe?
Well, it's not 1:30 yet. We got about 5 minutes, 6 minutes.
What? I don't like this time change. This time change is for the bird.
Did we already have our time change?
Yes. 7:04.
I wake up when I wake up. Oh, when the alarm goes off back to work. You know.
I would say we just take a day and stick with it.
That's Arizona. Gonna go live in the desert.
We only have Hawaii or Arizona.
I choose Hawaii.
I know.
Imagine the produce in Hawaii. You throw the little bitty root stubs of the spring onions out in the yard and they just grow.
And then Mexico and Canada, we have to do this.
I'm not going to Canada and I'm not going to Mexico.
I know, you're not very good.
I barely speak English. There's no way I'm going to Mexico.
You don't like the cold.
Yeah, I'm not going to Canada. I don't like the cold. That's not going to happen.
Okay. You getting it out. What is this?
Those are beets. I'm going to pickle those too. I love the sweet pickled beets. I used 1/4 of a slice of beets to create some color in with the pickled onions and with the pickled ginger. Because for some reason, Americans think pickled ginger is pink, and it's not. It's yellow. People color it pink. But why use food dye? You can use a nice, beautiful red beet. So we're on day 2 of the pickled vinegar, and we've got 1 little 1/4 slice of beet in the bottom, and you can see the color just bleeding it. It's just a beautiful, beautiful natural color. You don't need any food dye. Quick and easy cheat when you're canning stuff to bring some extra color to it. The ginger has that nice mild yellow, so I'm hoping this will come out really pretty. I've thrown mine through the food processor. It still has the skin on it. The skin is perfectly fine to eat. So these guys are going to come out just with so much flavor because I use apple cider vinegar instead of just plain vinegar. Okay, these guys are browned up beautifully. I'm going to turn them on their little tips so that it can, the curved side is hard to brown clearly. My trick is staying them up if I can. These guys are not staying up. They're about ready to come out. I'm going to put them on the little, they're ready to come out and be sliced up on the board, but I want them to cook a little bit longer. Again, different brands. I don't know if they're pre-cooked, anything like that, so I really want to give them time to cook. They've got Gouda in there, and they've got apple in there, so it'll sweeten and give like a smoky sweetness to the chicken sausage. Give them like 3 minutes just to let them do their thing. We'll be back in 3 minutes. Okay, so I've got my big old cutting board here. I've done olive oil in the pan. Once I'm ready to throw them in, once I've sliced them, depending on how much oil is in there, I might need to add a little more. I'll throw a little bit of coconut aminos to help minimize the amount of salt I'm using if I have to use salt. Black pepper, because everybody loves a fresh black peppercorn. And then I'm going to take the sauerkraut, I'm going to drain the juice off of it. Pour all the sauerkraut in there. It's going to heat up really quick, but I want the sausage to be brown first before I pour that in. And then I'm going to stir it. And then I'm gonna plate it. It doesn't need to be heated all the way for the sauerkraut. It's really good to go. I'm just trying to get it to absorb that olive oil flavor from the chicken so we don't lose any of that amazing flavor. Sauerkraut is draining, alarm it off. Beautiful brown and glistening. Okay, so I love a good heat-resistant tong. It lets you grip things, you can cut with them, even while food is hot. So these have been cooked through, but I'm going to cook them more because their contrast is the softness of the sauerkraut. So I'm not too worried about if I overcook them a little bit. But I do want them brown on the inside. I'm going to cut them probably 1/4 inch thick, maybe 1/2 inch thick, because I want them to hold together. I don't want them falling apart. And I'm going to try to cut them at a little bit of an angle. And the reason I cut them at the angle is because then they have more surface area and it just helps to bring out flavor. So that browning action is a reaction called Maillard reaction. It's a chemical reaction. Happens in almost all food when it browns. The taste buds are able to pick up on quite a lot of stuff. Your taste buds are quite sensitive. The Maillard reaction is an amazing thing that happens on many, many different foods. And the reaction is not exclusive to meat or anything else. Little batch of pastry plate. I still have this on low heat, just browning these guys. It was on medium heat when they first hit the pan, and then I wanted to brown them up, so I lowered it. Stirring them so they're all touching the pan. Not stirring to stir them. Trying to make sure it all stays down. They're going to stick just like any raw meat would, even though it's not raw because it's just not exposed. It's got all those beautiful juices that we're going to use the sauerkraut to absorb once they're brown. I'm going to let them brown, pull away a little bit, and I'm going to stir them up. Do that 2 or 3 times. That way most of them are going to get both sides browned up. We don't want to stir them burn anything, but we do want to get a good bit of color on them. Wash. Everything's going over to the kitchen sink. I am using the tongs, however, let's use it to put everything into the bowls. I try to avoid microplastics. I'm supposed to. So I use these lovely, I believe these are Pyrex. Yep. No, name brand, not off brand, I guess. Anyway, they're rated to be able to go in the oven. They're rated to be able to go in the microwave. Lids do not. I wash the lids, reusable, but I've got this beautiful glass bowl, which I can put all my food in, and then I'm not having to expose things to microplastics. We get enough plastic on our food when we're buying it at the grocery store. We don't need any more of that. There's research done that shows that all these lovely microplastics are actually making it into our reproductive bits and bobs. I don't know if they've done research to see if it affects fertility, but it's kind of amazing that the stuff we eat goes into our body and shows up someplace, right? So most of them are pulling away just fine. I got a couple that are still sticking. Stirring them on purpose. Okay, so you're gonna be able to see beautiful, beautiful color. You can see some of them pink, some of them are nice and brown. We want the brown on all of them. So we're just gonna cook them a little bit, pull away, stir them, do one more spin, and then I'm gonna add the sauerkraut right in on top of this. I'm gonna do a whole jar for the 4 sausages that were in the thing because I'm looking to make multiple food prep meals. Sauerkraut's gonna be high in vitamin C. Vitamin C, however, is heat sensitive, so the minute it hits the heat, it's going to break down some of that vitamin C. I'm not going to leave it in there for very long. I'm just going to let it absorb that juice, stir them real quick so it's a good even amount, and then into the bowl. Now the thing is, when I microwave it at work, it's going to burn out all that vitamin C. But if there's any left, okay, good to go. Raw sauerkraut is a really good source of vitamin C. For those of you who don't know, human body stores vitamin C under your eye. So there's people who have that natural whiteness under their eye. That's because they're consuming a lot of vitamin C. Good sources of vitamin C help get rid of those dark bags under your eyes. So if you have brand new babies at home, or if you just work too much, try to get some more vitamin C into your diet. Okay, so I've got little bits of apple coming out of this sausage, which is fine. It's not the HEB brand, like I said, that I'm used to. So. And for those of you who are not in Texas, HEB is one of our grocery stores down here. There's a chance that if you went to business school, you studied HEB. I know this is the last stir, so I'm just trying to get as many of the pink ones spacing down for just beautiful little sear on them. One trick when you're watching oil with meat is if it's just oil, like olive oil, when the bubbles are big, it's not crispy yet. When the bubbles, and again, you have to watch what you're doing because you can burn stuff if you wait too long. When the bubbles get smaller and smaller, the meat's getting crispier and crispier. So you're gonna have a nice little crispy crunch on it if you were eating fresh out of the gate. These are gonna, of course, go into a thing of sauerkraut, which will give them moisture. They're still gonna have some great definition and texture, but they're not gonna be crispy when I'm eating them the whole thing. Okay. here's one. It's a great example. You can see how brown that is, and then pink on the other side. So that beautiful Maillard reaction, it's not burnt, it's beautiful, crispy. But he's lost his chance to be brown on both sides. Okay. Heat off, quick spin to soak up all that flavor. Okay, I'm gonna start plating these guys up. And this is just real rough, just grabbing them, throwing them in the corner. Trying to get even out every meal. Because it's so high in protein and high in fiber, it's gonna be filling. Low in sugar, so it's gonna keep me going all day. I'm not gonna have a crash after lunch. That moisture from the sauerkraut is just pulling all the little, what would normally be gravy bits off the bottom of the pan. So there's not a lot of liquid in the bottom. You can see it's a clean base. A little bit of juice, not a whole lot. You really want to pull this out before any of that juice has a chance to kind of dissipate or evaporate, because you don't want to have sauerkraut sear to the bottom of the pan. The sauerkraut, even though it was room temperature, did cool off the pan quite a bit. No more bubbling or hissing, and that's fine. Now, just the last of the sauerkraut. So that is done. Now, I do have those au gratin mushrooms I made, so you can see the bowl's partially filled. This is more than enough food. And I'll put the mushrooms on the other side, seal them up, and these will be ready for food prep. Easy peasy. So that mushroom gravy is actually Gouda. So it's a cheesy sauce. The mushrooms make it beautiful and brown. It's not the prettiest thing to look at because of all the browns, but we got the red meat, we got the mushrooms, and this is a nice hearty meal. Great for winter, or just if you know you're gonna go for a 12-hour day and you need to eat. Thanks so much. Subscribe below.